In this video, we won't just talk about the collapse of a state, but about a dream that changed the face of the world.
That's our report for tonight. I'm Sam Donaldson in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
On the night of December 26, 1991, the dream of the Red Empire came to an end. The Soviet Union, once a global superpower, suddenly vanished from the map. A wave of shock and fear swept over millions who had grown accustomed to a very different world. The Soviet Union rapidly evolved into a massive industrial and military power. It invested heavily in heavy industries and developed a vast nuclear arsenal, making it one of the greatest forces in the world. The Soviets possessed the fastest tank in the world at the time, a machine that revolutionized ground warfare technology. The Soviet Union was the first to launch a satellite and send a human into space, placing it at the forefront of the space race and achieving remarkable scientific accomplishments. Yuri Gagarin was the first human to travel into space. On April 12, 1961, he was launched aboard the Vostok 1 spacecraft and completed a full orbit around Earth in just 89 minutes. In 1917, the Tsarist regime fell. Lenin and his promise of a new world, where there would be no place for hunger or injustice. The dream of revolution began, but the road was dark and long. Between the 1930s and 1950s, more than 18 million people passed through Soviet labor camps, the Gulag. Even scientists were imprisoned, working in secret laboratories called Sharashka. No one was spared repression. The goal was not only to control labor, but also thought. Children promoted party ideas, religion was banned, and art became a tool for propaganda and repression. Despite repression, the Soviets achieved incredible accomplishments: the first satellite, the first human in space, and the possession of nuclear weapons. Terrible pressure created geniuses. By the 1970s, the first cracks in the Soviet Union's wall were beginning to appear. Young people were listening to what was forbidden, and voices for reform began to rise with Gorbachev, but it was too late. In 1991, one by one, the republics declared their independence, and the Soviet Union collapsed. An unforgettable moment in history. The collapse brought disaster. Thousands lost everything. The state disappeared, and the new world was not ready to receive a devastated Russia.
Russian oligarchs, all with direct ties to either the Kremlin or
put sanctions on the Russian banks and Russian oligarchs.
Two powerful Russian oligarchs.
Russian oligarchs are powerful businessmen who rose to prominence after the Soviet Union collapsed, acquiring vast state assets during chaotic privatization. They gained political influence under President Yeltsin, often funding campaigns in exchange for favors and control. Under Putin, some were sidelined while a new elite, closely tied to the Kremlin, emerged, reinforcing a system of state-driven capitalism.
Создают настоящий культ нацистов и их пособников, а память о подлинных героях пытаются стереть и оболгать. Их цель.
After the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Vladimir Putin rose to power in 2000 and began rebuilding Russia from the chaos of the 1990s. He gradually consolidated control by curbing oligarchs, tightening media influence, and amending the constitution to extend his rule. Putin pursued an assertive foreign policy, most notably annexing Crimea in 2014, positioning himself as the restorer of Russian strength. Has the Soviet Union truly ended, or has it merely changed its form? The future remains uncertain, but the legacy of the past never dies.